Top TV, Truth of the People.
Well, a very good evening, our dear viewer from wherever you are. This is Top TV. Thank you for choosing Hasa za Siasa. I am your host, Daniel Sirengo. Well, Hasa za Siasa, as usual, is a platform that dives deep into matters to do with the leadership and governance. And today, we are privileged enough to have visited Mheshimiwa, the sitting member of County Assembly for Nkaimurunya Ward, Mheshimiwa James Waishanguru Dirangu.
You got it right.
Famously known as Mheshimiwa Waisha. And as they say, leo tuko base, au sio?
Karibu sana Dan.
Welcome on set.
Asante.
And maybe just to begin our program for today, to this viewer who might have been just hearing about Mheshimiwa Waisha and may not have an opportunity to interact one-on-one with Mheshimiwa Waisha, could you now take this opportunity at least to let us know maybe your brief background with regards to politics?
Thank you. Dan, karibu sana.
Asante.
It's a good job you people are doing at Top TV.
Sure, thank you.
And especially this program of Hasa
za
Siasa.
Thank you.
I have watched your program a number of times. Welcome, welcome, and you're welcome again.
Humble for that.
So, as you rightly put it, I'm Honorable James Waishanguru Dirango, the MCA for this great ward, the smallest ward in Kajiado County, but the most populated.
Sure.
Nkaimurunya Ward. I'm also privileged to have served in the leadership of the Assembly of Kajiado, as both as a deputy majority leader and currently as the chief whip of the Jubilee Party. And about leadership and my background is at times when I sit back and look at my journey from school, I think personally in me I have been in positions of responsibility or leadership, but towards now coming to get to politics, I happened to be the spokesman of the Kenya Tour Driver Guides Association. My background is in tourism and environmental management, and also I want to say that there is a history of politics in my family.
Sure.
I remember one of my aunts, they used to be in the group of released political prisoners. I don't know whether by then, Dan, you know these things in the 90s. When Akina Koigi and the late Professor Wangari Maathai, they were fighting to secure the Freedom Corner, Uhuru Park, and things like that. Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Closer to me, my mother has been in Maendeleo Wanawake. She once ran for the leadership of that position in this county and this constituency.
Wow.
And therefore there is much. I have been, ever since I was a youth, in the leadership of organizing and bringing together vigilante groups and my peers. So there's quite a long background into politics.
Thank you so much. So
leadership.
literally,
Yes.
Politics runs through your bloodstream. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Great.
Mheshimiwa,
Yeah.
Today where we sit, from a tenure of expected 5 years,
Yes.
we are only 5 months shy from the general elections.
Yes.
And I want to believe there are a number of things that you had purposed to achieve, some of which I want to understand you have achieved.
Yes.
Some, I do not want to think you
I've
haven't
achieved
that.
a lot.
You
Yeah.
have achieved a lot.
Yes,
So from where you sit, what can you present to the people of Nkaimurunya Ward as your scorecard? Like, what are your achievements in the tenure?
Asante, Dan.
Yes.
Dan, allow me first to say that at times when you're out there and you're promising people what you want to do for them, thinking of what you'll do in the next 100 days, 200 days, or 1 month or something, at times the reality, once you get there, is a bit different.
Sure.
But I really want to thank God, because when I was campaigning, I did not overpromise.
Okay.
And actually, I never gave a manifesto to the people of Nkaimurunya. I asked that, allow me to get this opportunity,
And they did.
and whatever that I'm supposed to do, or whatever falls in the responsibilities of a member of county assembly, I will do it in consultation with you. And it has worked miracles.
It has worked
For our ward,
miracles.
I can honestly say it has worked miracles.
Wow.
I'd want to mention a few things here and there. In the different, of course, you know the three roles of a member of county assembly, which is representation, legislation, and oversight.
Sure.
And I really want to say that that time I have served, I have no regrets.
You have no
I have no
regrets.
regrets. Even if it gets to a point where we say if tomorrow never comes, there is nothing, there's very little I would have done differently. I can point out a few areas. I would want maybe to begin with health. Again, I want to say that we are in a very cosmopolitan and a very populated area. And I'm lucky that our ward is home to Ongata-Rongai. It used to be Ongata-Rongai Health Center. Now it is a level 4 hospital.
Wow.
I really want to thank God for that. And there is tremendous improvement since the last 4 years.
Wow.
Notably, we have an operational theater now. I want to tell you, Dan, that previously, maybe 2-3 years back, all the time, even seated here, you just hear ambulances driving on and off. We would have more than 6 trips in a day of ambulance here,
Trying to
with
ferry patients.
patients being referred to Mbagathi, Kenyatta, or even to Kajiado. But now with the theater operating at this hospital, we are doing close to more than 15 cesareans in a day, mostly in terms of delivery. Also, we have an optician, we have a dentist. These are things that were not there before. In the first financial year, we were able to do a house for the doctor. Now, even at night, we have doctors staying there in the hospital. We have a ward.
Wow.
And apparently, due to the traffic, actually it is a story building, but even before we complete finishing it up, the first story, the ground floor is open and operating. So I really want to say that in terms of health, of course, Ongata-Rongai Hospital, it is not for Ngai Moronya ward. It's not only even for this constituency.
Sure.
We can tell that we have people coming as far as from Kibera, Langata, coming to that hospital.
That's
Great
amazing.
achievement.
That's tremendous.
In the same ward, especially when we had the pandemic, Gataka, or Ngai Moronya dispensary, which was under construction, we managed to equip it. We managed to make it operational, again with a staff quarters, the doctor's quarters. We have 2 rooms for staff there. And I want to say that it is really helping us at that end of this ward. And of great importance to note is that Gataka was meant to be a dispensary, but it is a health center.
Wow.
So to upgrade it to become a hospital now is very easy. As we speak, because the maternity is operating, we can have an HIF being used there in the next few months. So in terms of health, I think this has been good. I have also partnered up with and helped private initiatives, you know, like the Lottery Club that has come in very strongly for us here. And other groups and individuals for medical camps.
Wow.
You know, we have had eye clinics.
Wow.
We have really reached out to this community, creating awareness. During the COVID time, you know, we in partnership with the county government and other agencies, we could be able to provide sanitizers. We were able really to reach out to our people.
Wow.
That is on health. The road network. The people of Ngai Moronya can bear me witness that this ward or this region has been forgotten for very many years.
With regards to road.
Generally, everything.
General development.
Generally, everything.
Okay.
In past years, I think we have been disadvantaged. One,
Mm-hmm.
because we have representatives, especially the member of parliament coming from another area. We have had the previous 3 members of parliament coming from Ngong division, not even Rongai division. And also at times the capacity of the representation we have had has made us be left behind.
The partisan
I really
politics.
want to say that I played a major role in the push for the ongoing construction of the 65 kilometers of roads in Kajiado North. I would present myself in all meetings by the Presidential Delivery Unit. I would knock doors at KERA's, all offices of KERA. I actually also played part in bringing about part of my residents to form Gataka Road Resident Association that has been in Kajiado North, the strongest pillar to push for these roads.
Wow.
Although they are not complete, because we know Gataka Road, the one coming from Bulbul, has just gotten to Nakel. However, I am sure that with the completion of that project, I will have 3/4, I will have about almost 15 kilometers of road covering my ward.
Wow.
That is from Tamfids to Ongata Rongai. Then we have a road that comes from down somewhere here called Kagomano, going across the whole of Kware until the Kware stage. And then we have another one coming from, we call it Church Road, where we have the Shell petrol station, coming all the way down to Kisumundogo and linking up the 2 parts. I really want to say again, and as a member of the Lands Committee in the Assembly, again, we played a very critical role in us getting a municipality in Kajiado North, that is Ngong municipality. And I want to say, just like other wards, now we have the first 2 kilometers of tarmac done by the county through the Urban Supports Program. Running from Clean Shelf all the way accessing to the fire station that we are building, coming through the market and most of our busiest entire market area, the new market we are building at Kware, serving the hospital and the schools, and that will connect to Gataka Road. Let me say, even for those roads that we have not tarmacked, we have one of the back streets in Kware that we have curb road, and I'm thinking, you know, of course we have had a lot of budget constraints. You people know how the last 4 years have been, not only for this country, but the economy of this country. But at least I set an example that where they call a village, where they call Kijiji, is simply becoming a town. For roads that we have not tarmacked, we have from time to point tried to make them accessible. We have a great achievement to one end of our ward, a place called Getogota, where we had a narrow street for a road less than 6 meters wide. But through public participation, through coordination with the public,
you're able to expand.
We have now the road connecting from Laser Hill all the way to the forest through Gitogota, expanded to 12 meters. I really feel that is a big achievement. Yeah.
Sure.
So we have 7th Avenue as we speak. It is motorable. We've been able to Maram. As you have walked around, you have seen we are doing a lot of drainage projects, because one of the problems we have is we have the roads, but they cannot stand. Yes, they cannot stand after heavy rains. So now we are doing culverting, and it's going on. Rongai, the other end, we have had Kisumundogon being left out for a very long time.
Absolutely.
But as we speak, the Catholic faithfuls can now access the church, either from Gataka Road, from the KCB Road, from the Jolly Day Road, or even from Nafrom.
So you have done
and
lots of roads.
I really thank God that I feel we are not yet there. I can mention 2 or 3 places that are not as good, but I really want to say we have achieved a lot.
Wow.
Go to Mayor Road.
Wow.
This connects from Masai Lodge, also coming to connect to Gataka Road.
Yeah.
It is motorable. The residents there are grateful.
That's amazing.
I want to point out a specific 2 points that was a nightmare for the residents. One place is the Chap Road.
Task is Chap.
Task is Chap Road. That sort of 1 kilometer road. There was a depression somewhere where actually
a serious mayhem.
The naysayers, some of these characters, of course, as a politician, you're not supported by everyone.
Yeah.
They would take pictures of that pool, and they're like, this is Waisha Dam.
Oh,
you know, as you walk there now, I remember how many times we could contribute money with the residents to fill up hardcore.
Okay.
And when it rained, people used to vacate from their houses because of floods around that place. I want to say the Chap point now, it is settled.
Sure.
Kera almost never did that road because of encroachment. Okay. But again, from the assistance of the county government, we are able to relocate people and the road is done.
That's amazing.
There is a place called Kanyerere.
Kanyerere.
And really, what I feel about Kanyerere is that there is a good friend of mine, a person who is differently abled, called Kanene. He would not access his place when it rained. Okay. The residents around Kanyerere would not. And I want to look straight into the camera, into the people of Ngai Muronya, remind them how many times they had been relocated to the school as not IDPs, but now they can sleep soundly. However heavy the rainfall, it rains. So in terms of infrastructure, that is, I feel we are in the right path, and we have set the note for development of this area.
So maybe Mheshimiwa, you have touched a lot to do with health and let's say roads.
Yes.
What about education briefly?
Great.
With regards to education.
Yes. The role of the counties in education basically is in ECDs. And I want to say that I have managed to allocate a budget to at least have an extra classroom in every of my public schools. I have 3 public schools within my ward. I have Ngai Muronya Primary School towards the end of Gataka.
Yes.
We have Ongatarongai Primary and Nakel Primary. At Ongatarongai Primary School, the class is complete and in use, and the budget was to do the classroom and also some play fields for these children. At Nakel and Ngai Muronya Primary, there was a delay with the contractor, but I think anytime soon those classrooms will be done. Yeah, we have also, from time to time, in conjunction with the county government, we did some feeding program, at least for issues to do with nutrition with the children.
That's
we have the porridge. Yes, exactly. And lastly, when we were elected, none of our ECD teachers had been employed by the county government. But as I speak, I have teachers from those ECD classrooms within my ward that are now permanently and are pensionable, employed by the county. Of course, the need here is much, not all of them are, but I believe that is one of the things that I know, given a second chance, we will ensure that we have enough teachers and they are all employed by the county government.
At the time that it
but
requires.
At least it is. We have really had a good start on that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Something a little bit on trade. Yes. I want to say that I really wanted to ensure that we have a market. Ngai Muronya, there is no market.
There is no market. So they depend. Ngai Muronya depends on the quarry market,
which is in Ngai Muronya, but unfortunately it's on the roadside. It's on a road reserve. And this is one of the biggest problems that we have faced as a ward. But I really want to say that during my tenure, we have commenced the construction of a 3-story market within our ward.
Wow.
A place people called Makaburini and all that,
Okay.
but the foundation is already done. As we speak, there is a budget of 40 million to proceed with the construction of that market. And I really look forward that whether I'm the MC or not, that one day the people who are selling from the roadside,
Can have
the
a
people
place.
who once in a while, like we know 2 years back, Kenha was reclaiming the road reserve, and they were demolished. You know, people have a lot of people have a lot of uncertainty.
Absolutely.
But I really want to thank the Governor Lenku and his administration, because we have attempted and we have started building the market. We have done a lot again towards youth empowerment and trying to help the youth. In terms of employment, I can again stand up and look straight into the camera and say that in Ngaimuronya ward, we have done better than we would have ever thought about.
Absolutely.
We have a CEO employed from this ward who represents or who is in charge of urban planning, housing and the municipality, CEO Eddie, who is one of our own. We are very proud of helping us sort a lot of issues. We have the deputy sub-county administrator coming from here, the coordinator of ECD education coming from Ngaimuronya.
Wow.
But forget even those high positions. We have had, I have seen, or if you go to our hospitals, you'll find the ambulance being driven by someone who never thought he would get into government, you know. Watu walikuwa, you know, barabarani, wanatafuta kazi, getting squads kwa matatu nini. Now I have drivers.
They can be well used to deliver the service.
My friend, they are doing an absolute marvelous job. You know, I'm very proud of those people who have been employed from my ward. And again, it is, you know, people from all sorts of walks of life. And again, they're in all positions in government.
Absolutely.
You know, I have, through the national government program and the county, I have more than 15 nurses from my ward who got into the UHC program.
That's amazing.
You can
That's
tell, you know,
amazing.
Kajiado County, people from Ngaimuronya are getting that employment.
It is worth it.
I have enforcement officers, you know, some of the people that
So maybe
I even ran with. Yes.
Sorry to cut you short, but if we just stay in the issue about job creation,
Yes.
and let's say trade and industry, what maybe could you kindly give your perspective with regards to investor confidence?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
are there mentionable investors you have been able to pull through to come into the world? So also with regards to helping in investing within the world so that it improves the state of the world.
I want to start one with legislation. At the Assembly, we recently passed the Kajiado County Investors Bill.
Yes, yes.
And I played a very big role when coming up with this piece of legislation. And this was to create the investors' confidence.
Sure.
That once you come here, we are able to harmonize the licensing. You don't have to go to 100 offices before you get a license. You will be disturbed going to look for health certificate, this certificate and all that. So I'd want to say yes.
Wow.
By and large within the ward and above that, Kajiado County, Ngaimuronya ward, we have done much to be able to create investor confidence and bring investors into our area. By improving these roads, by making our places accessible. During the difficult times of COVID, the government, through His Excellency again, we went a long way in giving our investors waivers. I remember like bar owners, you know, they had issues, you know, the hours were constrained and all that.
Absolutely.
So I want to say, by being close to these people, listening to the people directly, public participation, we are able to know what affected or affects our people and be able to help them come on board. Wow. Maybe, my friend, because we are not done with some of the devolved functions, as I was saying about youth empowerment, I have spoken about creation, employment. We have I have also, on a personal capacity and as the MCA, really supported the youth. We have youth groups that through funds available at the county, we have supported. I know one Boda Boda group, we did some economic empowerment for them, give them some grants to be able to run their projects. I know of a Boda Boda group. I know of some group in Kisumu Ndogo. Some of them went and bought catering facilities, and they are able to help themselves. The governor has also had a program of supporting the youths. We have a very good organized group in a place called Gataka, again in this ward, and we give them tents and seats, and they are able to hire them out and use them.
Be able to generate an income from the same.
Yes. Through sports, again, I happen to sit in the youth committee. We have had tournaments. Just last weekend, we just concluded the Governor's Cup, again hosted in Gaimoronya. Why?
Absolutely.
Gaimoronya, we have talent. I have more than 35 football teams, you know, including ladies teams. And we have worked very closely. We are trying to have some improvements of that field. The last regime had fenced one side of Nakel Stadium. I want to say that by the close of business, I will ensure Nakel grounds are secured by having a perimeter all around. We are already done with almost 70% of it. Amazing. And the remaining part, the contractor is on site, and we have the budget for that. And from there, we will upgrade. I think we really need a social hall, and I think that will be our next part of impact to it. Women groups, we've come up again with the Women Economic Fund in Kajiado County. We have done the legislation. As we speak this financial year, there is 40 million shillings that will be dispersed to our women groups. We have done this before. I have issued more than close to 2 million shillings to women groups. There are a number of things that are very key to my people and to our region. And I happen to be the chairman for the Committee of Water and Environment in this county. And one of the major problems we have had is management of waste, both solid and liquid waste. Of course, the need for a sewerage system is very dire to all of us here in Kajiado North. And this has been a very big concern. But I really want to say that we have made inroads. There have been attempts through the department. We have had partners to try and see how we can deal with our wastewater, get a sewerage system. One of the major problems that we have, you know, we have investors, people building their buildings and all that. Okay, right, of course, as a county government, whenever you are bringing up a flood, you need to demonstrate how you'll take care of your waste. But of course, we know that with the kind of the rocks we have here, and the government really has to come in. There has been a great issue to do with that. But I really want to thank God that I feel it is being worked on the right way. And having now gotten, or having us being upgraded to a municipality, I am very confident in the next 2-3 years it will be addressed. On waste management, especially solid waste, I feel I managed with my committee to do the Kajiado County Environment Bill. And therefore, we have the law in place about solid waste management. However, I feel we need to do much about enforcement, because you find people just littering around, people just making each and every other place to be a dump site. But however, as a region, we know we really had a problem with the Ngong dam site. You know, I happen to be a Catholic, and whenever I used to go to the cathedral, you'd get that big mountain. And I really want to thank Governor Lenku, because that has been moved. However, we the relocation site, which was supposed to be somewhere at the vet farm, 20 acres of land that had been set aside by the former county council. We had great opposition, political interference, especially from the leaders of Kajiado West. But I hope that will also be settled.
It will be addressed.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mheshimiwa, for that apt description and also explanation of what you've been able to do with regards to service delivery and policy formulation, as well as oversight within the ward and within the county at large. So, looking at the background, it is evident that Mheshimiwa Waisha is gonna defend his seat for another time.
Kabisa.
And so that is in public domain.
Yes.
Maybe, do you have an affiliation?
Yeah.
As it is? Should we read from the wall? Or
My friend,
it is a different thing?
My friend, I'm telling you, siasa, they are very interesting times. As I said, I came in under the Jubilee umbrella. And it happened that I never had a godfather per se. I never had somebody who is in politics and who could hold my hand and all that. Sure. So I just came in, but thanks God and the people of Ngaimoronya, they supported me. You know, I did not buy my way out. I was just there, but I thank God, and that's why I always feel indebted that I have to serve them.
Absolutely.
So we were elected 5 MCAs from Kajiado North and the Member of Parliament. All of us were Jubilee. And therefore, it gave the people a lot of hope that we would work together, unlike the previous government, where the governor was ODM and you know, there was all that mix and match. However, also for me, when I came in the first year, 2 years, I came to realize it's not like I thought. Those that I thought are my big brothers, those that I thought would be my mentors, I came to realize these people, everyone was there for themselves and God for us all. Wow. Of interest to mention especially was the Member of Parliament. I respect him a lot, Mheshimiwa Manje. But I came to realize for politicians to survive, they have a lot of some hidden tricks here and there. And you know, you cannot read on somebody's face. The face, they would look very polite. And you know, in 2016, I realized Mheshimiwa Manje had three aspirants he was supporting in Ngaimoronya. And so I never knew, I never expected, you know, I thought we are a team. However, coming forward when we got into office, you know, the positions that we got for Kajiado North from the county government, all the other wards got placements, you know, either ward administrators or CEOs or CEs or directors, but Ngaimoronya I never got even one.
Neglected.
You know, the Member of Parliament was, you know, Governor Lenku had a lot of trust with him, and so later on, maybe after 1 or 2 years, I came to realize it was the high time I thought of my people more than the unity of others. I want to say that when I look at the needs of this country, when I look at the needs of my people, I cannot afford to be away from government. I have known the need of supporting the government of the day and the need of making sure your people are in government. And therefore, without much ado, I highly feel that the Azimio, La Umoja coalition is the future for this country. I personally have never, even once, voted for His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. But I want to tell you, as we speak, I'm campaigning hand to the nail for Mheshimiwa.
Now is the time.
Now this is the time. And again, when it comes to this county, Mheshimiwa Governor Lenku has helped the people of Ngaimoronya ward. He has delivered. It has been a very difficult time. with all the issues that have been there, with the politics that began, I don't know how many years into this regime, but because of what he has done for my people, because of the love that he has shown for my people, because of his accessibility, that right now after this session I'm going for 2 or 3 matangas, and I have a hand of the governor to help those people.
Amazing.
My friend Dan, if you have the time, I tell you the people who have benefited from bursaries, from scholarships. Forget those stories we hear about. You will know the need.
Well, it seems
the
there
reason.
is a lot more in store to talk
Oh my
about.
God.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
schedule this for another day.
Karibu sana.
But maybe just before we call it a wrap up,
Yes.
you using that camera,
Yes.
kindly use this time to give a clarion call to the great people of the Great Nkaimurunya ward.
Great.
And just let's say in less than 2 minutes,
Yeah.
Mahesh,
Sawa sawa.
and just address your dear people.
Asante.
Yes.
First of all, Dan, I want to thank the people of Nkaimurunya ward for the honor they bestowed upon me to lead them for the last 4.5 years. And secondly, for the cooperation, for the understanding. My people have been very understanding. They have been very supportive. For their prayers, for standing with me as their leader. I really owe you. I thank you a lot for that. And going forward, I want to ask the people of Nkaimurunya, it is not about who and who. It is not about what. It is about our people. It is about the unity of our country. It's about where we are heading to. And as your leader, I want to tell you that I have evaluated. I have spent sleepless nights. I have walked wide and far to the remote places of Kajiado, to the interior places. We have gone out of this country and we know what is good for our people. I want to plead with the people of Nkaimurunya that let us support Azimio la Umoja, let us support Raila Amolo Odinga, and much more, let us support His Excellency Governor Joseph Ole Lenku, who has been with us and has walked this journey with us. Asante.
Well, thank you so much. That's
Asante
from Mheshimiwa Waisha, well known as James Waishanguru Dirangu.
Yes.
And it never gets any better than just getting it from the host's mouth. And hopefully we wish you all the best in your forthcoming journey.
Always welcome, bro.
And we hope that next day, next time, when time comes, we will be seated on a platform, maybe celebrating
Asante.
your victory.
Karibu
So
sana.
thank you so much, our dear viewer, for keeping it Top TV. This has been Hasa za Siasa, and I'm your host, Daniel Sirengo. Don't you switch the dial. The conversation continues on all social media handles. Till next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Wow.